Data-wise, step 3.
Step 3 is important for the data-wise process for school improvement because it launches your inquiry phase. It is where you begin to develop questions about your data, about what you're seeing, and about where you need your focus to be.
Initially, with data-wise, I did think it was going to be a little bit overwhelming, and how exactly were we going to take all the data that we have, because as teachers we have data all over the place all the time. We're constantly collecting data. And I was thinking to myself, well, how are we going to narrow in or narrow down what specific data are we going to use moving forward?
When we are trying to come up with a focus area, we first develop this question about what is it we want to know more about a particular grade level. Some examples of the focus areas we've done at Leisure are why our students were struggling in math problem solving, computation, fluency, math fluency, and reading fluency.
With our journey that we had in math, the focus was really on problem solving.
When looking for data to include in our data story, I look at a variety of standardized, formal, and informal assessments. That includes our state assessment, some reading inventories, common assessments, classroom observations, and homework.
When we looked at the data, the story that really emerged was we saw some strengths and we saw weaknesses. We saw that students were actually pretty proficient when it came to their basic multiplication and division facts.
In our beginning of the year, we have the universal screener, which is called STAR, and we have it for also reading and math. Once the students take those tests, they come out in either the intensive bucket, which is the lower range, the middle is strategic, and the end is benchmark. So once we have those kids identified in those different bucket areas, then we can look at other classroom assessments as well.
With the data-wise process, when we look at results from students' tests, I'm now really looking at the areas of weaknesses and the areas of strengths that the standardized tests kind of showed. So I'm looking at not only individual student reports, but I'm looking at group reports, so class reports, and then also grade level reports. And I'm looking to see which areas in the test did the students really perform well, and which areas of the test did the students not perform as well, and then using that to kind of guide my focus.
When coming up with a priority question, we would meet as a grade level after reviewing school-wide data as a school team. We sat down as the grade level team and decided what do we want to know more about our particular grade level. We brainstormed some questions, looked at our school-wide data for a focus or a launching point, and then we took it from there.
And as we looked at specific problems where we saw the majority of the students answered incorrectly, we could see the type of errors that they were making. And it's appeared that the errors they were making were with really understanding what the question was asking them to do. And so that is kind of guided our story. You know, we want to make sure the students are able to understand the complex text that they might find in a word problem. So our priority question was, why are students struggling with understanding and solving complex word problems?